Hey everyone, my name is Tegan and welcome back to TandeWrites, where today I'm going to walk you through my first month of querying. So I think I made a video like 2 or 3 weeks ago talking about preparing my book to send it into the querying trenches, where, if you don't know, is how you get an agent who can then send your book out to publishers and editors and maybe get it onto bookshelves, or bookshop shelves in the end. And up until now I've been a self-published author and I really enjoy the process because I love the full creative control. And other things. I'll make a video at some point talking about the pros and cons of self-publishing. Obviously my childhood dream is to walk into a bookshop and see my name on the shelves. Because my last name starts with an A, I will not be in a good place on the shelves. I'll probably be in the top left corner, far away. Might have to change my last name, but the dream is obviously to see your book in shops. So here I have my my personal advance copy. But I finished writing this book last year. I've been doing edits ever since, and it's finally in a place where I could obviously rewrite it forever and ever, because I spent kind of pretty much 10 years on and off drafting this book. It's gone through a lot of lives now, and I know I could easily spend another 10 years obsessing over editing. So I did many more drafts, many more edits, and I've sat down and I said to myself, this is the last one. If it doesn't go out to agents now, it's honestly never going to go out. It's going to sit in my Dropbox folder for another decade. So I will say this book has entered the trenches. It's been there about a month now. I have recorded each week, something just to say how it's going, so I'll put those clips coming up next, and I'll put back in the end because week 4 has been completed and we have some updates. So yeah, this book is going out into the world, and here's how it's been so far. So The Will Be Other Summer has officially been out in agent inboxes for a week now. So far I have queried 16 agents, kind of in 2 small batches. One was people who wanted the first 5 pages, the second was people who wanted the first 10 pages of first full chapter, I believe. We've waited 2 batches out there, 16 agents queried in total. And so far I have received 1 response, and it was rejection, because my manuscript was just not quite the right fit for the agent at the time, which is perfectly normal and understandable. Honestly, not much movement right now as we are only a week in. A lot of these agents, I obviously immediately caved and got a Query Tracker Premium subscription. Most of these agents have an average response time for either rejections or asking for more material of a month, like 4 to 6 weeks. So yeah, not expecting anything to happen for a while, but you can also go in and see the agent's timeline, where you can see every submission they've received. You can look in and see like the genre word count for a lot of them, and you can see if they've been rejected and when they've been rejected and where you are in the queue, in a sense. And there's, I think, 2 or 3 agents, well, I'll show you one in particular here, where the queries either side of me have been read and rejected. And it's like, oh my god, an agent might have read my query and they're thinking about it. It wasn't an immediate rejection. Or they might not have read my query, it's just coincidence. But it's just a thought of like, oh my god, this story it's left my head, it's gone to paper, and now it's maybe entering someone else's head, which is very exciting. And what I've loved querying so far, other than patience, is that people feel entitled to have an agent, first of all, read their work and then represent them. So there's this lovely comment on a specific agent's comment section on Query Tracker, where this person's like, oh, this agent represents my genre, and I wrote something in this genre, and believe it, I edited my book in this genre, and this agent still doesn't want me? Do you really think you're entitled to an agent signing you because you wrote something in their genre and edited that book? Unbelievable. But no, we're learning patience this week. We are now in week 2 of the query trenches, where I am wearing the exact same jumper in a different colour. Also, welcome to my desk. I usually film, sat down there somewhere on the floor, but different angle. Winnie the Pooh watches over me. We had a little bit more movement this week. Basically, I got I think 3 rejections almost immediately after I filmed that last clip. So I guess Mondays is the day that everyone sits down and goes through their query inboxes. I've also queried maybe like two to 4 more people, agents who literally just opened up. I happened to see scrolling on Twitter they opened up, and they were requesting either the first 5 pages, the first chapter, the same amount of pages that I've already submitted to other people. So now I'm sitting at a total of 18 queries sent. I have 5 negative replies. So yeah, I've gained 4 in the past week. I believe one of them was due to personal taste, one was they didn't connect with the story, and I think 2 was just not the right fit, which is fine by me. It's also very exciting still obsessing over agent query timelines, because now I think there's 3 or 4 agents where they've rejected or responded to the queries literally directly beside me. So the fact that I'm sitting on a couple of people's maybe piles is still very exciting. What else has happened this week? Oh, I submitted my query letter to Gina Denny, who is this lovely writing, publishing professional on TikTok, who has provided so much valuable insight to me. And I thought, yeah, she has this thing where you can submit your query letter for free, and the cost is she will publicly review it on her TikTok. And I was scrolling through my TikTok last night, and I saw my book title behind her, and I was like, oh my god, I'm not ready for this right now. So it's a 6-minute video. I've literally downloaded the video so I can watch it in my camera roll, because I don't want to open it and see comments or anything right now. I just want to focus on my query letter. But I have not actually watched that yet. We'll be watching it soon after this video and making the amendments to my query letter. But I think at the bottom in the caption she wrote that it's good. And I was like, wow, praise. I'm just very praise deprived. And I think she called it a YA literary, and it's apparently only just occurred to me that my genre could be literary and not just contemporary. And wow, this has just changed my perspective on my own book. So no other updates this week. I think I'm going to give it another 2 weeks. So my current batch of queries have been out for a full month. We'll see if I get any more rejections. Hopefully some with personalisation, fingers crossed, but I'm not expecting it. And then I will send out some queries to my next group of agents, who will be the people who want the first 20 pages or the first 3 chapters. Welcome back to another week in the query trenches. We're on week 3 now. It feels like it's been so much longer. And not even because I'm just sit here refreshing my emails and query tracker. I've just been busy. And I've lost track of what I've been saying each week, but I think I was like, yeah, I'm not going to send any more queries until another 2 weeks' time. So my first round have had a full month to marinate in people's inboxes. But alas, I have sent my queries. I've now sent up to 32. I have 22 outstanding, so I've got 10 rejections, and I think I've got another 5 in the past week. So out of the 5, I have 2 that have a non-reason for rejection. I have 1 that is it's not quite what I'm looking for at this time, and 1 that is your project does not sound like a fit for me at this time. And these rejections, I mean, of course I care because I want my book to be loved and out in the world, but I'm not taking it personally. I've got to the point where I can view this book as something that I'm trying to sell rather than my sweet baby that I'm trying to protect and cherish forever. But the one rejection that did sting is this very short one. It's one that just says, I'm afraid that your project does not seem like one I could successfully represent at this time. So it's how much did you like my book? Did you love my book a lot? And this is the only one that has stung a little. Because ultimately in querying, it doesn't matter how much your agent likes your book. It matters how much they think they can sell it. And it's confirming my fears that this book isn't sellable. So what have I learnt this week in the trenches? I don't think I've learnt a huge amount. We're in this very, again, the same impatient place I was in last week. But the thing that I've not learnt but become aware of, even more aware than my first round, is that when I was going through sending out the second round queries, a lot of agents have young adult contemporary listed as genres they represent. If you go through the wish list, their manuscript wish list, which is literally just, as it sounds, a list of everything they're looking for in a manuscript, specific things that they want to represent, books they want in their inboxes, very close to 0 of them actually mention young adult contemporary as something that they are actively looking for right now. I think maybe 1 or 2 out of the 30 queries I've sent have specified that they want YA contemporary. Because the agents very overwhelmingly want fantasy, romantasy, and horror. Which is, I think, my next book will probably fall into one of those categories, and the ones after. I want to return to fantasy and horror influence so badly. But I want to get this story of my heart. I want to give it the best chance possible before I not admit defeat and go into self-publishing, because I love self-publishing and it is a valid publishing path, and I'm going to have so much freedom in what I do with the book. But I want to give it a chance to hit bookshop shelves and have special editions and go out into the world and be in libraries. But it's just the sting of this specific rejection from the agent saying that they don't think they can successfully represent this book, and me being reminded as I go through all of the agent wish lists to personalise my queries, being reminded that, oh, no one actually wants my genre right now. That kind of hurts a bit. So 1 more week until we've had a full month in the trenches, and my birthday's in the upcoming week, so we can wish for good news, or we can try and manifest at least 1 personalised rejection, because they've all been form rejections so far, and they've all been very lovely. but I'm hoping for some feedback. Oh, another thing of interest that happened this week is that I did finally summon the courage to watch Gina Denny's critique of my query letter, and it was so overwhelmingly positive and nice. I have a lot of confidence, like, wow, I'm actually good at, well, I'm calling this my job now. I work in retail, but book, for the sake of right now, book is my job. And that's just the confidence I needed, that yes, I can do my job. But yeah, basically the critique was the final paragraph that basically summarises, the hook of my book, the what will happen if this doesn't happen, that kind of sentence just needed some work because it's quite vague and ominous. It's like, yeah, I agree with that. But so overwhelmingly lovely about the rest of my query and my author bio, and it gave me a lot of confidence. So that is all for this week in the trenches. See you next week. So welcome to week 4 in the query trenches, and this is a fun week because absolutely nothing has happened. Nothing's happened. I've not received a single rejection. I've not received a single request, which I wasn't expecting. Which I was expecting. I did have a very intense dream at one point that someone had requested my full manuscript, and I woke up in a state of panic. So I was like, oh my god, how much time has passed? So I missed the opportunity to send it off, but it hasn't happened. Not a single Gmail, not a single query tracker notification in my inboxes this week, which is somehow more stressful than waking up to rejections. As with rejections, at least I know it's moving, something's happening. Right now, nothing's happening. So again, obviously I caved and I sent out more queries. I will say I did this because I was going through the list of agents I have left remaining to submit to. I was going through to make a note of who my next round would be. This would be the round of people who want 30 to 50 pages of the manuscript. And I was going through, I saw that, oh, some people must have opened to query since my last batches. So I sent off a few more to the people who want 5, 10, 15, 20 pages. Just for something to do. So yeah, as of the start of this week, I was still on 10 replies. I think I sent off 6 queries. So I was still 22 outstanding, which is now gone up to 28 outstanding. So I have a 26.3% rejection rate. Again, the same thing as previous weeks, because these agents are still replying to other people's queries. I go through the timeline and there are again still multiple, even more than ever, where they've replied to the queries either side of me, but not me. And I'm just like, oh my god. I'm so stressed. I've told myself I'm only allowed to check Query Tracker once a day. I do it in the evenings because pretty much everyone I've submitted to who hasn't rejected me yet is in the States. So by the evening, something might have happened on their end where I can go through and obsess over who they've rejected, who they've asked for full manuscripts from. Because on Query Tracker, if the author chooses to, you can put the word count and the genre in there. So I'm going through and seeing what people want. They want heavily fantasy still. And it's fine. So I'm trying to distract myself by working on what my next book will be. Obviously got the Pinterest mood board down, got the playlist, have a rough idea what it's going to be about, working on characters and plot. I have Gina Denny's beat sheet printed out to actually work out here's a book that's going to have a normal structure, not whatever this guy is. I'm distracting myself. Nothing's happened this week. Sorry for a very underwhelming conclusion to this month. But if people enjoy or are interested in querying content, I will make more videos. I'll give you a monthly update on what's going on. So yeah, today it is the first week of March, and I sent my first query first week of February. So yeah, it's been a month for me. By the time you see this, it'll be end of March. We'll be coming up onto my 2 months in the trenches. But yeah, hopefully something happens soon, even if I end up getting 100% rejections. That means something. That means if I get 100% rejections of every agent, if I exhausted all my options, I can go ahead and, make this baby. It's gonna come out in some form. So that's how my first month in the query trenches has gone. Again, like I said, if you want more of this content, I will keep making it. And hopefully I have some kind of interesting updates soon. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!